Hello everyone, we're going to do a lesson today on the Byzantine Empire, and your EQ is simply what was the Byzantine Empire, how did it begin, how long did it last, and as you can see from this picture right here, you can see an area of the Roman Empire that is focusing, and it's in the east, not in the west over here. So let us begin. Alright, the Roman Empire divided in the late 8200s, was weakened by internal and external forces. We learned about that in the 10 Theories of the Fall of Rome. Power shifted to the east as Germanic invaders weakened the western half of the once great Roman Empire. So you can see here what the Roman Empire was, all the way up into England, some Roman soldiers. And you can see the various barbarian tribes attacking the Roman Empire from various places. Now, it's important to understand that the Romans were able to fend this off for many, many years. But once the empire split, it wasn't able to do this because the focus was towards the east. So by 330, the Emperor Constantine had built a new capital city in Constantinople on the site of the Greek city Byzantium. The Byzantine Empire arose from this site. So here's some images of Constantine, a very Roman picture. Here he is again over here. And then a Renaissance more image, obviously from the color. So Constantine's a very interesting figure in history. Much debate arises from whether or not he truly converted to Christianity or not. And most historians say he most likely did, but there are some who say he didn't. And in fact, this is important because he signed a decree that made Christianity no longer a religion that was persecuted in the Roman Empire. Later on, another Roman Empire, I think, not Athanasius, but the other emperor made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, and that's where the Roman Catholic Church had its beginnings. So let's continue. All right, here's a map of what occurred, and you can see that the Roman Empire is no longer in this region. It is kind of shrunk here as well, but it's really large in the east, and this is the Byzantine Empire. You can see Constantinople. You can see the Visigoths are controlling what is present-day Spain, Cordoba. So you can see what occurred. At its height, the Byzantine Empire covered an area from Rome through southeastern Europe and Asia Minor, down to Egypt and across North Africa. Okay, so you can see the empire is still quite large, but no longer including most of the West. The city of Constantinople was on a peninsula overlooking the Bosporus, a strait connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. From its central location, the city controlled key trade routes that linked Europe and Asia. You can see right here the Silk Road. So the Romans did trade with China. Okay. You can see some coins, and you can actually see a close-up. Here's the Bosporus Strait, and right here is the city of Byzantium, later Constantinople. And you can even see Emperor Theodosius builds this huge wall to protect this part of the city, because you really couldn't attack it from the water on all these three areas because this is a peninsula. And it was Emperor Theodosius who instituted that Christianity was the official religion of the Roman Empire. So I'm pretty sure of that. If I'm wrong, disregard that. But if I'm correct, there you go. Alright, so here's a picture of a famous emperor of the Byzantine Empire known as Justinian. Byzantine Empire reached its peak under the Emperor Justinian. Justinian was an autocratic ruler, single ruler, complete authority, no senate. What he did, he made rules, that was it. Powerful ruler. Now, he became known for his collection of ancient laws known as Justinians Code. This written set of laws became the basis of today's laws. So here's some images relating to that. Now, Justinian's Code, what he did was he compiled a series of laws. I mean, Romans had all kinds of laws and things. He streamlined them, codified them, and it became his code. Another ancient code was also the Code of Hammurabi. There have been other laws compiled before, the Jewish law and the Torah. So Justinian's Code, very important for history. A lot of our laws come from this code. In fact, he had code laws for marriage, for wives, for husbands, and how children should treat their parents and so on. Parents treat their children. He codified it. Justinian's Code, very important. Here's some images relating to his code. All right, in the area of architecture, Justinian blended Greek, Roman, Persian, and Middle Eastern styles. The best known is the Church of Hagia Sophia, means holy wisdom, and this is one of the great works in the history of the world. Beautiful place. When the Ottoman Turks conquered the Byzantine Empire, they converted it into a mosque, which we will learn about when we study the history of Islam. But Justinian was not only a person who governed with laws, he also was an architect and did many other building projects. So, here's another beautiful picture of the Hagia Sophia from the outside. You can just see how amazing it is. On the inside as well, obviously it's a mosque now, so you can see the Arabic writing. Okay, also inside. Very large, very beautiful. All right. In the area of art, the Byzantine Empire made great contributions. Icons were images of Jesus, the Virgin Mary, and others. These icons were supposed to create the sense that the holy person was actually present. So you would go into the church and see these amazing paintings, and would give you the idea that the very presence of Christ was there. Here's some more images. Byzantine artists also developed mosaics, pictures or designs formed by inlaid pieces of stone or other materials. Mosaics often displayed religious themes. So here you have fish. And in Christianity, that was the sign that you were a Christian. You couldn't come out and just say you were a Christian, because during Roman times they would kill you. So usually Christians would meet. One person would do one line in the sand, the other one would do the other one, making the fish. And that was to show that they were in fact Christians. And then you have obviously the doves, symbolizing the Holy Spirit. So very important in mosaic images. Here's another beautiful one of Mary. Every year I show this my students. It's truly beautiful. And each little piece goes together much like a jigsaw puzzle. Here's another one of Jesus on the cross. All right, so in 1054, a permanent split or schism occurred between the Orthodox Christian Church in the East and the Roman Catholic Church in the West. Basically, this is the first split in Christianity, and it would lead to many consequences. We'll learn about those as we progress in this year's study. I'm not going to go into them now, but the Eastern Orthodox Church is very strong today in the East, and of course the Roman Catholic Church very strong in the West. Very different way of looking at things. We'll go into this later on when we get there. But this was the great schism that occurred between the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church in the West. So you can see, excuse me, the Byzantine Empire, not as large as it once was. Okay? The decline of the Byzantine Empire came with the onset of invading armies. The final blow came at the hands of the Ottoman Empire, 1453. Ottomans take over what is once was the Byzantine Empire and conquer it. So, as the rule of empires goes, all empires rise, rule, and eventually fall. 1453. All right, so the Byzantine Empire was once a great empire emerging out of and continuing the legacy of the Roman Empire. The Byzantines developed a written set of laws and strongly influenced art and architecture of the time. So, a great empire, a great legacy, over 1,000 years of history, Byzantine Empire. Thank you for watching this lesson. Make sure you take your notes. And the code at the end of this video is strength and honor. Byzantine Empire preserved the Greek and Roman and Persian achievements, as well as influencing the West later during the Renaissance. So, again, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you do your notes and remember the code at the end, strength and honor. Thank you.